It's reducing the density, the receptor sensitivity to adenosine. So adenosine can't just go and bind to it and activate this profound tiredness response. So as a result, you get a wakefulness effect from it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel on nootropics, on testosterone, on male performance, and on a host of other things. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified because I pump out a lot of content from this channel. Please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Do it. Hit the like button, bro. Still running the 25% off discount on the Torque Stack. That's the code, 25Torque. Go do it right now. Down the description below. Ending soon. And the Torque Stack is 5 to 8 hours of very, very powerful clean stimulant energy. All right, friends. So let's talk about what may be perhaps the greatest or the most powerful stimulant, the best nootropic stimulant there is, and that's Dynamine. If you haven't heard of it, Dynamine, otherwise known as Methylliberine, is a chemical that works on adenosine receptors in an allosterically modulatory kind of way. I'll explain that in a second. Somewhat different than how teacrine and caffeine and theobromine work. They're all methylxanthine, so they're in a similar class in that they turn on wakefulness and turn down tiredness. But Dynamine works in a very different way. Let's talk about dose range real quick. Dose range is anywhere from 20, because believe it or not, some people get positive responses at a mere 20 milligrams, to 250 milligrams. You really wouldn't want to go above 250 milligrams because then you run the risk of that uber jittery, like, heart rate raising, heart pounding out of your chest type of situation. I personally have a really good response from Dynamine at 80 milligrams, but that's just me. You may need 150, another guy may need 220, like it all really, and then another guy's going to need like 50 milligrams and it'll be fine. I have found it to be effective by itself, just taking it by itself in the dose that registers with me, as well as with teacrine, with other methylxanthines, with racetams, with other stimulant dopamine agents. Now, what I want to quickly do is talk about what it's doing so that you understand the difference between it and teacrine and it and caffeine. Like, okay, Dynamine, here's this new stimulant that gives you wakefulness. Well, it's been around for quite some time, but not many people talk about it. Why is it any different than teacrine? I will tell you why it's different. So basically, let's check out this small little part of this article, which goes, in summary, Dynamine, or Methylliberine, is said to work by negatively modulating adenosine receptors. It decreases adenosine receptor sensitivity, which means that it reduces the feelings of sleepiness that result from adenosine binding to the receptors. It does not completely block adenosine receptors like caffeine, so its effects are not as strong as caffeine, but nor does it have the same kind of sudden crash. By downregulating adenosine receptor sensitivity, Dynamine promotes feelings of energy, mood, and motivation, and it may secondarily promote dopaminergic activity. Yeah. So that last part, secondarily promoting dopaminergic activity, almost always, right? When you allosterically modify or you prevent adenosine, which is a neurotransmitter that essentially kind of turns on tiredness when it binds to the adenosine receptors. If you prevent that from binding to the receptors, then you've got wakefulness and you usually have dopamine release alongside that. What Dynamine is doing is allosterically negatively modulating the receptor site. It's reducing the density, the receptor sensitivity to adenosine. So adenosine can't just go and bind to it and activate this profound tiredness response. So as a result, you get a wakefulness effect from it. Now, this whole notion that it's not as powerful as caffeine is like bunk. I'm not even sure where this is. Like, it's this website called iGest. And yeah, look, they have some interesting, it's largely science-based, but that was an opinionated statement. I have never, ever seen Dynamine in the right dose be less powerful than caffeine. In fact, I've seen it be more powerful, faster onsetting, probably last about the same amount of time. It's going to be 2.5 hours all told for most of the cognitive benefits, that wakefulness effect from it. But here's the really interesting thing about Dynamine. When I take it, and when you take it, it's like, instead of it being like 20, 25 minutes, all right, here's a some sort of progressive onset of powerful brain performance and energy, it's like 5 to 15 minutes, dude, and you're like switched on. It's like turning a switch on. That's why it's so powerful, and that's why it's one of my favorite stimulants, because instead of having to kind of wait 25 minutes and maybe having this progressive onset, you literally turn a light switch on with Dynamine. You're awake, you're alert, you're energized, you're ready to work. Doesn't come with jitters typically, and your brain's in a functional place. Now look, if you just Google Methylliberine studies, which is like the kind of nomenclature name for Dynamine, you're going to find a lot of studies on caffeine, Methylliberine, and teacrine, but predominantly Dynamine and teocrine together. And the reason that there's a lot of studies on this, and there's all kinds of positive benefits ranging from less hemodynamic negatives, like better blood flow to organs in the presence of stimulants compared to caffeine, because caffeine tends to maybe shuttle some blood away from some of your organs, to better marksmanship among military personnel, to generally better cognition. The reason this is studied is because you have two very powerful synergistic chemicals doing interesting things. You got Dynamine, which is reducing the receptor sensitivity on the adenosine side to adenosine. So when adenosine binds to it, it just doesn't really activate it at any major capacity. So you stay energized. But then you have teocrine, which is competitively inhibiting the receptor sites, the A1 and A2 adenosine receptor sites. So, you know, the very little bit of adenosine that could even get through there, it's just like not going to cause a substantial response at the receptor. So you're going to have this profound wakefulness and good mental energy with Dynamine plus teocrine. What's the takeaway? The takeaway is if you were to dose, call it 100 milligrams Dynamine, and then you brought in something like 50 to 100 milligrams of teocrine, you'd have yourself a good time. All right, I mean, that would be an epic stack to put together for brain performance. I mean, for some people that don't want to mess with racetams or maybe don't respond well to racetams and can't get the choline dose right for them, like, just take Dynamine and teocrine. And yes, you can take it daily if you absolutely need to. I really don't see a problem not cycling Dynamine. I mean, you're probably going to want to maybe take the weekends off, have some coffee, totally fine. But otherwise, it's a sustainable compound to take. I've actually taken it for like 3.5 years on and off. Never had any size unless I take the dose way too high, like in the 275, 300 milligram range. Epic compound, very quick onset. Energy instantly, noticeable brain performance, better general cognition, stacks with other methylxanthines, stacks even well with caffeine. Now, the interesting thing about this is that once Dynamine became somewhat popular, like I was talking about it 4 or 5 years ago or something in the nootropics community, when I first stumbled upon it and started taking it and using it, actually it was probably longer than that ago, then people started putting it in their pre-workouts. Here's one called Level Up. Never had it before. I'm not suggesting it. I mean, I don't know. Well, what do you know? Go down to the bottom and you got some Dynamine in there, 100 milligrams, 40% Methylliberine. You got this prefix stuff, which has Dynamine in it. I don't know if I can actually... Okay, so here you go. What do they got? 125 milligrams Methylliberine, right? People are putting Dynamine in their pre-workouts, man, because they know how effective it is. What's the bottom line? Yeah, I mean, do I think Dynamine is the best stimulant in the world? Well, it's hard to say, right? Because again, each of the stimulants do different things, and mechanistically it's somewhat different, right? But it's just like, what I really like about it is a very quick onset. Doesn't last all that long, but it lasts long enough. If you need 2 to 3 hours of a good clip of work and you need your brain to turn on instantly, especially if you haven't slept well, if you're not functioning good, whatever, maybe you drank too much last night, you just kind of need that bump. Yeah, take some with some caffeine, right? Get some Dynamine in with your teocrine, get some Dynamine in with your ordinary, otherwise nootropic stack, and you're going to be in a better place cognitively. Anecdotally speaking, I have stacked Dynamine with the Torque stack because Torque has theobromine, teocrine, Alcar, right? So it's got some of the adenosine receptor modulating chemicals in it, which turn on energy and turn on wakefulness. So if you take Torque, 2 capsules of Torque, and then you throw down 50 or 75 milligrams of Dynamine, you're going to be in a great synergistic nootropic energy place. So definitely try that. Again, right now, the Torque nootropic stack, I mean, this is a high potency energy stack, is 25% off. The coupon code is 25Torque. We're not running that very long. In fact, that's going to end sometime early this coming week. So go get Torque for 25% off right now. This is your chance to get what's probably the most purchased nootropic stack on the internet, because look, this stuff just works, man. If you want access to books that teach you how to use nootropics, but also give you stacks, or just like give you powerful, proven, client-tested stacks, go get all of our books, or one of our books you can pick from all the different options at livecortex.com. Probably the best book to get would be for just stacks, Stacklist. If you need to hire me for anything relating to helping you to formulate nootropic stacks that are targeted for your brain, to solving energy problems, to getting to the bottom of why your testosterone is not where it needs to be, to modulating your TRT protocol, to getting it perfect for you. And you can check all that stuff out at livecortex.com or in the description of this video. All right, folks, pleasure being with you. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, please. Oh, yeah, hit the like button, bro. Make sure you hit it. Make sure you actually hit it. Bro, the like button. The fuck